Okay.
All right, this is Jeff with Shout Out Minnesota, and we are here with
at LIL FLIP 713, aka Mr. Versace. You did?
At Absent Raps on Twitter and Instagram, aka Absent. Clover G Records, SP Style.
You know what it is? It's your boy NUMBERZ. Phone 2. I'm on the grass. You know what it is?
All right, so let's get a little background. Let's take it back to the beginning for you, Flip, and just talk about how you got started.
I mean, music always been around my family. Like, my grandmother played the piano for the church. If you in her family, you go sing in the choir, no matter what. If you was one of my homeboys, you came to my house, and you spent the night, you might not have no church clothes. You know what I'm saying? You finna put on some of my clothes. You know, if you smaller than me, you got on some big clothes. You know what I mean? But like then I had uncles that sung in groups, and then you know my god sister is Terry Ellis. She's singing in Vogue or whatever. So I've been around music my whole life, and I just did it as a hobby. I was playing sports, basketball, football, baseball. You know what I'm saying? I was center field for baseball, but nobody ever hit the ball out there. That shit was boring. And then it's hot as hell in Houston. And then football, I hurt my knee, but I didn't break it or nothing like that, a fracture, nothing. But just one time I hurt my knee, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stick with the basketball. But I always played all three sports at the same time. So once I started seeing people who were older than me, like they'll be college prospects, do real good, and be like, yeah, I'm going to this college. Like after a few years, you know, a lot of those same people who were star athletes, they would be back in the neighborhood, either being barbers or doing something totally different for what they were going to school for. You know, like, so when I saw a lot of the athletes just basically back in the hood, and you know, everybody ain't gonna make it to the pros. You know what I'm saying? That was just more like a reality check. I started making real money off of music, and just got out the streets and just started doing it seriously.
You really hit it big as an underground as far as in Houston goes. And then you got to come out with your first record, right? Leprechaun?
Well, I put out a group. Well, I actually had out a few projects before that.
Okay.
But the first official project I put out was a group that I formed called HSE. But I had formed the HSE group, came up with the name like 6 years prior to that. You know, but yeah, that was the first Hustle Stacking Ends. Then I dropped the Leprechaun, then Underground Legend, then You Gotta Feel Me, then I Need Mine, then Ahead of My Time. You know, I'm working on White Cup Gang right now. I just dropped the Black Dr. Kevorkian. It's on iTunes right now. Go get that shit.
All right.
I'm working on a White Cup Gang project, me, Stubbleine, and Street Action. After that, we got the Passport Club, me and Crisco. And then after that, I'm gonna do a Clover G compilation. So we working, man.
All right. So what collaborations are on the new record?
Say it again.
What collaborations you got working with other artists?
I just talked to 2 Chainz. That's my homie. We go back. You know, he was on You Gotta Feel Me. The first song on You Gotta Feel Me called Bring the Pain with Ludacris. But you know, he's one of the people that's in the industry I consider a friend. I'm gonna put him on a new record. I haven't came over with the record yet because I want to put him on something that's gonna be monumental than just put him on some shit. But I come from the era of you standing on your own. Like, I think that's what's wrong with a lot of these artists now. You know, the first question the person asks you after you tell you put out an album, they'll be like, who's on it? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
At the end of the day, can you spit? Can you rap? Can you hold your own? You know what I mean? Like, you got to think like rappers like DMX. Like, their albums was them rapping. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times I feel like it's cool to collaborate here and there, but I feel like a lot of times people do that as a shield, you know, as a crutch. You know, I'm not with that. Okay. You know, so you won't see too many collaborations. I like taking an underdog and blowing them up. I like finding a diamond in the rough that can sing or rap and give them an opportunity, because a lot of times the people that once they get a little fame for whatever they known for, they get the big head, they don't want to work no more, you can't talk to them, you got to talk to them through their managers. Majority of the artists that I did songs with, if we did the song through me, you know what I mean, I got their numbers and we talk, you know what I'm saying? like holidays, how you doing, how your kids doing, you know what I mean? Like I don't look at people as a quick lick. Like anybody that's bought a verse from me or a show from me, I'm grateful. It don't matter if I gave them a discount, it don't matter if I did it for free. I'm grateful for it all because at the end of the day, that's how I feed my family.
Right.
You know, I ain't got to be in the streets, so you know.
So, talk about Diamond and Rough. I'll bring it over here to Absent, Minnesota. Give us a little background on you and how you came in.
I am Absent. I'm Minnesota born and raised, Midwest, child of the Midwest, children of the snow. Hip hop for me was a huge influence in my life at an early age. I was raised by a single mother. She cut hair, worked 12, 14-hour days. I had two older brothers. I had an older brother that had some 2 Live Crew tapes and some NWA tapes, and that was really my first era. You know, we were hiding CDs from mom, and, you know what I mean. And that was it. I went to the park one day. This kid had NWA in his headphones, and that was really the first time I heard NWA. And from that point on, I had an affinity for hip hop. I love hip hop. I can remember sitting in the car. My mom's telling me, I hope that you can remember your schoolwork as well as you remember all these songs. I knew that whole Young MC album front to back in the day. So, I wrote lyrics at a young age too. I wanted to send them to my favorite rappers, like they were gonna use them on a song, whatever. Just as a kid with big dreams, and I went to rehab in 2005. And when I got out, I decided, I'm gonna take this seriously. I gave up the booze and picked the pen and paper up and got rid of some people in my circle that weren't real positive to me, and really started taking it seriously. I was at a job one day, there was a newspaper on the table. It was about George Clooney and his dad. Clooney's dad said, "George, you don't want to look back at your life and say, I could have been." And I pictured myself as an old man in the car listening to hip hop and telling my kids I could out-rap these guys, And I at that point I figured, what do I have to lose? Put my foot down, make a run for it. And so, hooked up with some kids locally on the scene. I just started showing up at shows and whatnot, and being around the prevalent scene here locally, and doing everything I can to just come up, man. Fight for each fan, and give away as much music as I can, and really just work my way up the ranks here locally. And met Flip back in 2009. He had a show in downtown Minneapolis, and we made a record together. He was on my first album, and so that was right after I'd hooked up with SP Style, D-Mill, of course, here in the cities. And so, D-Mill's a legend, Minnesota legend, and it's been very good to me. We make great music together, and so I met Flip in 2009. We made a record together, and then I ended up on tour with him.
He stole it. He found some acapellas and he stole my record.
Put it on my album. And
nah, he ain't do that.
But I had met this gentleman named Scott from Last Call Entertainment. He had Flip on the road, and so
that's Scott right there.
That's Scott right there. But I had. So we did a record together in 2009. We toured together in 2010, and we just kind of kept in contact ever since.
Yeah, man, I like working with people who. A lot of times people think because they'll knock somebody out for you, or they'll, do some dumb shit for you that validates them to be around you. Or a lot of times people think because they got the most talent or the most money or they look the best or whatever, that should be the reason for you to be around. But me, like, you could be the brokest person in the world, but if you got a good heart and you don't mind working, and I feel like I can trust you, and I feel like you go work just as hard as me, then I don't have a problem with aligning myself with people like that. At the end of the day, I'm allergic to lazy people. You know what I'm saying? And when I met Absent, he didn't come to me like this with his hand out. He came to me like this, saying, "Here, this is what I can bring to the table. I want to bring something to the table. I don't want you to just do this, 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 this. You know what I mean? Let's do this, 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 this." And so when you got people that, that's already doing shit for themselves, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to babysit them. They book their own shows. They, fund their own tours and shit like NUMBERZ, you know what I'm saying? Like self-made people. You can't be around mama's boys in this industry, because if you're the only person doing something positive, you go be covering all the fucking tabs. And like Juvie say, if I give you everything, baby, I'm gonna be broke. You got a million and one things that you could be doing, sitting on your talking shit. Yeah.
All right, so come over NUMBERZ. NUMBERZ, give us your story.
Like, man, I ain't gonna give you like the whole rundown of what I've been through, but I've been in the game for a long time, man. I've been messing with Flip, my boy next to me, since I ain't gonna give you no dates because I really don't know the dates. Cause I've been grinding for a minute, so I done lost a lot of dates. But if you really wanna know about me, you can just find me on Google, you know what I'm saying, Instagram.
How you spell
All
it?
that. NUMBERZ with the Z, not the S, with the Z.
That's why you gotta make sure you say
You know what I'm
that.
saying? With the S, not the Z. I ain't gonna give you a long story. You know what I'm saying? My story is all on me touring with Flip, me touring with Snoop, me touring with June, me touring with. I got all. Just Google the NUMBERZ 412 Stingy Entertainment, Clover G. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, tell us a little bit about Clover G.
Now just a little low. Just a little bit. We can hear Scott, he's asking the questions all loud. Like he didn't want to use the rose tone. Use the vodka tone. He can smoke that cigar now. Yeah, he didn't got to hear that mix. He didn't play the secret mix. He wanted to let me hear that mix.
That means he made a good night for himself.
So,
Drink up your bottle, that means it's bad night.
so give us a little background on Clover G.
The background is I came up under the Botany Boys, a neighborhood we stay in. It's called Cloverland. And you know what I'm saying? It's just an alias. They call us the Clover G's. You know what I mean? And, you know, when I left the situation that I was involved in early in my career, I've always said I was gonna make my own label called Clover G anyway. Here we are. You know, the right people did the wrong thing, and I ended up getting more. You know, like Absent say, he separated himself from people that's not positive. Like, that's one thing I learned, man. You can't have people who think irrational in your inner circle. You know what I mean? Like, the people that can jeopardize your career and your safety and your well-being, those people don't need to be around you frequently. They only need to be brought up when it's those times. You know? If you just think about war, then I'm gonna just bring you around when it's, you know what I mean? So, with that said, man, you surround yourself by the right people.
So I got a question for you, and I've asked this to other artists as well. Do you feel like this generation that's coming up has this sense of entitlement? You know what I mean? Like it should be handed to them and not work for it. Do you get that sense? Well, not everybody, but I'm just saying.
Some people like that from the era when I first started. It's the same. You know, I wouldn't say the whole generation's like that, but I would say majority of the people, the way they think now, you know, it's people that are getting rap and don't even know the origin of what it's about, and just think I just want to rap because I want to get out the hood and not think about all the legends and different things people really went through and not take this shit serious. You know?
Music.
Like I got an artist that's on my label right now. I'm not gonna say his name, but I was just with him and I asked him, I said, hey, have you had a chance to listen to the Black Dr. Kevorkian? And he told me, no, I haven't had a chance to hear it yet. And I'm like, for real? Like when I was traveling under C-Note, the Body Boys, like anything he dropped, mixtape, album, like I made sure I had copies of it and learned everything word for word because I never knew, you know what I'm saying? Like when he might need somebody else to bag him up, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like if you go do something, you gotta be ready. You go be a boxer, you gotta study your moves, you go, you know, do martial arts. Like I took Taekwondo, I'm a 3rd-degree black belt. I took that for 8 years since I was like 9. Like, so the different shit I've been through in my life, like I used to box, I played all sports, I did so much shit in my life till it conditioned me to take everything I do serious. You see what I'm saying? There's people that, like, how can you be on a label or support a brand and we releasing shit and you don't even know what the fuck we putting out? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
I
That's
could be
true.
saying some crazy shit that's against your morals. You don't even know who you're following. You don't know what mind frame I'm in. You just represent the logo, just don't know what the hell I just put out on the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, that's just an example of, you know, everybody think different, man, but a lot of people, they just want a quick buck. They don't give a fuck about the fine print until shit hit the fan. And then they want to point fingers. I got screwed. No, you screwed yourself.
Right. Well, speaking of new records, Absent, you got one coming up.
I do have a new record coming out. It is not named yet. I would say it's halfway ready. I'm looking at a February release date for that record. There should be a venue and a release party announced. I don't want to talk dates on interviews because I like these things to be alive forever, really. But we'll put a new album out this winter, and I feel like right now I'm making the best music of my career thus far, and I feel like with each album it's been that way. But I feel like we've turned the corner, and I think you'll be interested as a fan to hear what we got going on and the twist that Flip and everybody else has kind of put into thing. And really, we ain't changing shit. We just adding to it, really. So it should be a great project. I'm looking forward to it. I'm having fun making the music, and that's what's most important right now.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to put down?
We got to promote, man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? We got the websites. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. At LIL FLIP 713. That's the Twitter. That's the Instagram. Go to cloverg.com. You can get all the t-shirts, hats, merchandise, like the hoodies, the sweaters.
You got the hoodies,
He
the
got all that
hats,
shit on. He got the shirt.
the cups.
We got the cups.
We got all the merch on the website,
Two different cups.
www.cloverg.com.
Got the jacket. You got some on the back of the jacket. So, you know,
We got the hood here.
Clover on the hoodie, you know. You got the, you know, the t-shirt. You showing the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got the
SP
t-shirts
style,
as well.
man. You know what I'm saying? You know, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So we working, man. Like, I've been traveling so many years, and a lot of fans, they, like, one thing I've learned is two things that I sell that break every racial barrier, every age barrier. My birthday cake, air freshener that I have, like, everybody smells it and loves it. And Clovers, like, no matter what religion people are, race, like, I've been all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And people love Clovers. Like, I used to give out beads. Like, I'm born in March, of course, March 3rd, you know, but, like, I've been to Ireland, you know what I'm saying? Like, the clover, the 4-leaf clover, like, everybody loves Clovers, bro. And for years, fans been like, man, we want the t-shirts. Usually I just make me some custom shit with the Clover G shit and my crew. And, you know, the fans like, man, we want the shit. So we finally went on ahead and brought it to life and opened up the site. And we about to have socks, we about to have shades, you know what I mean? Shout out to Embellish. You know, that was one of my sponsors, man. They look out for me, man. But we work it, man. We got stores. I got a tattoo shop in San Antonio called Time Bomb. Tattooers on Southwest Military. We got Exclusive Taste store in Houston, Texas, and West Oaks Mall. We got all the custom shit. And we working, man. That White Cup Gang album is coming soon. Free Boosie, Welcome Home Turk. Free SPM. And we go hold it down for DJ Screw, Big Mo, Pimp C, How. Get it.
Download the new Dr. Kevorkian album and buy it. Don't steal that shit.
All right, one last shout out, fans of Minnesota, before we head out.
It's your boy NUMBERZ.
Shout out Minnesota. Absent. It's all love. Minnesota till I die.
Shout out Minna, Soda, Ista, King, Etta, Clover, Allah, Smoke, Isda, Skunk, and Scott. Look like that when he's drunk. Now that's how we do it, man.